The manner of providing professional services, and particularly legal services, has evolved in recent times. Legal services are no longer exclusively provided by the traditional law firm. The rise of multidisciplinary practices have taken the business world by storm, particularly for the client who wants a one-stop shop for their business needs. Law firms can take various business forms, including sole proprietorships, partnerships, or personal liability companies. Such business form would depend on the number of legal practitioners practicing for such firm. It is mandatory for law firms to be registered with the Legal Practice Council. Although multidisciplinary firms may take various forms, they are typically registered as partnerships, private companies, or personal liability companies. It is common for multidisciplinary practices to operate alongside or under an audit firm network and form part of the consulting or advisory division of such audit network, and in doing so they would be regulated by the relevant audit regulatory bodies. Multidisciplinary firms may also operate on a standalone basis. Law firms typically employ legal practitioners who practice various forms of law. Law firms may also train candidate legal practitioners who are later admitted as legal practitioners. Both legal practitioners and candidate legal practitioners are regulated by the Legal Practice Council. Multidisciplinary practices typically comprise various types of professional employees with different skill sets and academic backgrounds. Certain professionals, and particularly those within the accounting, law, and tax fields, are regulated by their respective regulatory bodies. Whilst it is not always the case, legal practitioners who render services in multidisciplinary firms are likely to have practiced law and are admitted as legal practitioners. Law firms traditionally provide legal services spreading over different areas of law. Most law firms choose areas of speciality and provide services within these specific areas of the law. It is important to note that only practicing lawyers who operate in a law firm can provide certain legal services, such as litigation, the transfer of immovable property, and notarial services. Law firms may then outsource other professional services to external service providers, including multidisciplinary practices. Multidisciplinary practices, on the other hand, are not limited to legal expertise, but provide various professional services which may include legal services. Where legal services are provided, these would cover various areas of the law, save for those that they are not permitted to render. The unique feature of multidisciplinary practices is that, barring independent considerations where audit firms are concerned, clients would have the benefit of having a number of professional services rendered by a single service provider who has a holistic understanding of their business. There are instances where law firms may engage multidisciplinary practices to provide services which they are not able to provide to their client, and vice versa. And this enables law firms and multidisciplinary practices to collaborate in finding solutions for their clients. Ultimately, whether to approach a law firm or multidisciplinary practice will depend on the specific needs of the client involved and how these can be efficiently serviced for the benefit of such client.